Be clear about several things about the whistleblower. First of all, I don't know who the whistleblower is. I haven't met them or communicated with them in any way. The committee staff did not write the complaint or coach the whistleblower what to put in the complaint. The committee staff did not see the complaint before it was submitted to the Inspector General. The committee, including its staff, did not receive the complaint until the night before Acting Director of National Intelligence. We had an open hearing with the Acting Director on September 26, more than 3 weeks after the legal deadline by which the committee should have received the complaint.
Chief Justice.
The senator from Missouri.
Chief Justice, I send a question to the desk on behalf of myself, Senators McCaskill, or McSally rather, Langford. It was a terrifying moment. On behalf of myself, Senator McSally, Senator Langford, Senator Gardner, Senator Capito, and Senator Wicker, this is a question for the President's counsel.
Thank you.
Roy and I are friends, and after he misspoke and used my name, he said, well, that's terrifying. By the way, I don't believe him. I think he'd be perfectly fine if I were still in the Senate.
Question from Senator Markey to the House managers. On Monday, President Trump tweeted, "The Democrat-controlled House never even asked John Bolton to testify." End quote. So that the record is accurate, did House impeachment investigators ask Mr. Bolton to testify?
Senators, the answer is yes. Of course we asked John Bolton to testify in the House, and he refused. We asked his deputy, Dr. Kupperman, to testify, and he refused. Fortunately, we asked their deputy, Dr. Fiona Hill, to testify, and she did. We asked her deputy, Colonel Vindman, to testify, and he did. But we did seek the testimony of John Bolton as well as Dr. Kupperman, and they refused. When we subpoenaed Dr. Kupperman, he sued us, took us to court. When we raised a subpoena with John Bolton's counsel, the same counsel for Dr. Kupperman, the answer was, Senator, you serve us with a subpoena and we will sue you too.
Every public official that I know believes that his election is in the public interest. And mostly you're right. Your election is in the public interest. And if a president does something which he believes will help him get elected in the public interest, that cannot be the kind of quid pro quo that results in impeachment.
We just heard you argue in that clip that whatever John Bolton says doesn't matter. Right. You still don't think any of this is impeachable. But the only people who actually agree with you are on your defense team. And 75% of Americans want to hear from Bolton. So why should we listen to you?
Well, I made the constitutional arguments. My sole role in the case was to argue the constitutional issues. I would have been making exactly the same argument if Hillary Clinton had been elected president and if she had been impeached for abuse of power or obstruction of Congress.
Well, you're arguing now that there was no crime committed here, but the GAO, an independent watchdog, said last week that withholding the aid to Ukraine was illegal.
No, they didn't say that. They said, no.
Yes, they did.
Sonny,
yes,
Sonny,
they did.
Sonny, I'll tell you what.
Let's assume that I'm right and you're wrong, and they said they did. Would that be enough for you?
Let's bet $1,000. Yes, let's bet $1,000 to be contributed to the peace of Israel and Palestine.
Let's just say that I'm right.
No, that they didn't.
Let's just hypothetically say I'm right.
Senator Graham and Senator CRUZ pose this question for the House managers. In Mr. Schiff's hypothetical, if President Obama had evidence that Mitt Romney's son was being paid $1 million per year by a corrupt Russian company and Mitt Romney had acted to benefit that company, would Obama have authority to ask that that potential corruption be investigated?
Well, the hypothetical is a bit off because it presumes that in that hypothetical that President Obama was acting corruptly, or there was evidence he was acting corruptly with respect to his son. But nonetheless, let's take your hypothetical on its terms. Would it have been impeachable if Barack Obama had tried to get Medvedev to do an investigation of Mitt Romney, whether it was justified or unjustified? The reality is, for a president to withhold military aid from an ally, or in the hypothetical, to withhold it to benefit an adversary, to target their political opponent is wrong and corrupt.